Oh, there we go. Holy shit. So in real Hollywood problems, both Kate and I have hard outs tonight. Like, oh, we got to do other entertainment stuff. Sorry, guys. There'll be a shorter episode than usual.
Sorry about it. Comedy never sleeps.
Right?
Podcast never sleep.
No, it's like, oh, people are paying me to be somewhere. I got to show up.
No one's paying me to be there. I just,
Well, you're putting a long-term investment in yourself.
That's what that's what I tell my mom, yeah.
How long have you been telling your mom that?
About 6 months. Well, I've been doing stand-up for about 6 months. So, yeah, that whole time. But I think my parents were really happy that I was doing stand-up. I think I might be the only comic who's ever, like, told their parents they wanted to be a comic for a living, and their parents were, like, proud of them. My parents are just so grateful that I have clothes on. Like, oh, thank God.
Oh, little do they know, there's comedy shows where you're naked.
I know, there are. Yeah, I got invited to one the other day. I was going to go. That sounds fun.
One of the best things I ever saw was the Naked Roast out in New York.
That's dope. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, they do it pretty regularly, but I saw it as part of Skankfest last year.
Okay, cool.
So just butt naked people that should not be naked making fun of each other.
I feel like there's a large portion of the comedy community that I don't want to see naked. The majority of I'm not going to lie.
But it makes for a much better comedy roast because when they're just making fun of like physical appearance, and it's like, oh, your small dick's just hanging out.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
It was really fucking good. So what are your plans with well, actually, what the hell's going on with you besides this open mic?
Yeah, well, I do mics most nights. I try to go to like 1 or 2 at least every night. I have a show coming up at the Comedy Store on Saturday night.
This sadly won't be out by then.
It will not be, sorry. But yeah, I have the show next week. So that's kind of cool. So I'm working on that and, just hitting the pavement, keep doing it.
Fuck yeah. You going to be in the belly room or?
Yeah, I'll be in the belly room. I've been on the show. This will be like my 5th time on this show, which is really cool. I love performing there. It's my favorite place to perform.
It's the best fucking room in LA.
It is. It's great. Everyone wants to laugh. It's the easiest laughs. Like my material that will get like a lukewarm anywhere else just kills there because people want to laugh. And that's like the kind of crowd you want.
Hell yeah. Because when you go to the world famous Comedy Store, you are there to fucking have a good time. No one's like, I want to go. I guess I'll go to the Comedy Store. I guess.
Yeah, you don't have well, I am sometimes. I'm like, I don't have anything better to do. I'll go hang out, but that's different.
Yeah, that's working.
Yeah, exactly. That's working. Yeah, and it's not like a mic where like everyone else is just like a jaded comic that like actively does not want to laugh. Like they don't want you to be funny.
No, the last thing you want is other comics in the room.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Although I will say like most mics that I go to, especially the one I go to tonight, is really supportive, which is awesome. So you get like good feedback and you actually do get laughs, which is nice. Awesome.
Is it mostly just open micers or someone with some time in, pop in for them?
No, this one's pretty much all open micers. I go to somewhere like, you might get a bigger person in there, but this one's all open mics. So I like this one too because it's so laid back. I feel like I can actually like try new stuff. And if it doesn't work, I'm just like, all right, fuck it, whatever.
Well, and that's the point of fucking open mics.
Yeah.
Just work on new material. Mm-hmm. So what is most of your material about?
A lot of my material is about porn. Because it's great fucking material. I mean, it writes itself. It's fucking hilarious and people are interested in it too. I try to like not make it all about porn because I don't want to get pigeonholed that way, but like you say porn and people's ears just prick up, they get excited.
Huh?
And I was watching a show last night in the main room and I just started keeping track. I was like, I want to see how many of these male comics have a joke about porn. It's like 90% of them. About 90% have a porn joke. So I was like, all right, I can actually make this joke better because I have the experience behind it to like back it up, which is kind of rad.
Yeah, most comedians, the most I've ever seen in porn is finished product.
Yeah, exactly. And they constantly, every single person has a joke about it, which I think is really, really funny.
Which is crazy because it's making porn less and less taboo.
Yeah, that's great for me. I'm really into that, so that's good.
Hopefully it'll get to a point where you're not held back by having a career in porn.
Yeah, I think we're really getting there pretty close. Actually, I went home for the first time in like 2 years. I had been home in 2 years. I went home to see my parents this weekend. It went really, really well. We went to therapy for 3 hours on Saturday. We worked through a bunch of our shit. And actually, at one point, that did come up. And their therapist, super cool dude, he just shut my dad right down. He's like, nope, absolutely not. That's not going to impact her career. Like, yeah, she can't teach kindergarten. She didn't want to teach kindergarten before this.
Ooh, who the fuck wants to be around kindergartners?
I know, right?
Like, I feel like those are the mentally ill people. Like, you want to be paid a substandard salary to be around smelly, disease-ridden children?
Yeah, to have people sneeze on you, basically, and scream and wet their pants. Yeah, no, I don't. That does kind of sound like porn, but whatever.
Porn's a little more glamorous.
And it's a little better paid.
Yeah. No one's ever given kindergarten teacher a backstage pass for just being a kindergarten teacher.
That's true. That's true. I do get some pretty dope stuff. It's kind of cool. I'm not somebody that like really leverages that a lot, but like when it does happen, it's cool.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the offers happen. I've been around long enough to just watch friends of mine be like, "Oh, hey, we're going to this concert backstage all access because I'm who I am." Hell, a friend of mine who managed a band, it was Mayhem Festival years ago.
Yeah.
I asked him for like guest list spots. He's like, "Well, technically, the band's willing to guest list your adult performer friend, and you can be her plus one." Like, this is my connect. What the fuck?
Right. I know. Yeah. I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights like next week. I scored like backstage ticket or whatever. Like they were super cheap tickets because I like knew somebody through the industry, which was fucking rad. Thank you, Todd. I'm super stoked. I really wanted to go, and I really wanted to go to Harry Potter World. I've wanted to go like since I moved to LA, but nobody would go with me. And I also it's a lot of fucking money. I went to Disney World or Disneyland for the first time this year. Disneyland's cool. It's not $250 cool.
Fuck no, it's not.
Fucking no. I handed her my credit card, and just this small part of me was like, that's like 2 weeks of groceries for me. But yeah, so I ended up getting, because I knew somebody, which is fucking dope. I've gotten some free underwear, which is pretty cool. I get a lot of free sex toys. Too many. I'm like drowning.
Start selling them.
You know what? I am. I have a bit about it actually where I'm trying to Marie Kondo like my sex toys. But it's really hard because silicone is not recyclable, and like you can't donate gently used Hitachis to Goodwill. But I think it would be awesome if you could, because they would be in the back with like the microwaves and the radios and shit where it's like, plug this in and try it. I think that
why the fuck not? It's a back massager.
Right. Exactly. I'm sure you technically could, but I don't think they would take it.
You should find out.
Right.
You should find out on camera. You should just have someone follow you in filming it. Like, I would like to. That would be amazing YouTube content.
That would be really funny. But I donate stuff to that Goodwill all the time, so I'd have to go to like Van Nuys or something, like one that I don't go to
Just
because
get
they
offset.
know me at the Hollywood one.
Just get offset. Or actually, it'd be even funnier, like, go donate stuff out of the closet. Be like, here, AHF, you fucking anti-porn motherfuckers.
That's hilarious. That would be really funny. Yeah, I like that. I do like that thrift store, though. I feel really guilty every time I shop there, but I get dope stuff there all the time.
It's like, it's kind of like eating a Chick-fil-A. It's like, oh, I know I'm supporting a horrible, horrible business. But the goddamn chicken.
Chicken is so, and the frostum actually, that is definitely, it's exactly like eating a Chick-fil-A. I've been doing this thing where I donate like $10 a month to the Human Rights Campaign, and I've just been doing that for like 3 years, and I always spend less than $10 a month at Chick-fil-A, so I feel like it evens out like karmically.
You're a little ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You're spending more than you are. Yeah.
Exactly. When I don't eat at Chick-fil-A every month because I don't live near Chick-fil-A, so I eat at Chick-fil-A if I'm like in Woodland Hills and I'm like stuck there, but I do like it a lot.
Those bigots make good chicken.
Oh, they do. And they're so fucking friendly too, man. Like everyone that works there, I swear to God, like they would like change your tire, fucking save a cat from a tree.
I was mildly aroused the first time I went, and they're like, how may I serve you? I'm like, oh, hey, hot driving girl, how may you serve me? Whoa, that may betray your Christian values real quick.
I've got some ideas. This is how I deserve to be treated, buying my $4.99 chicken sandwich. I am a king.
Just chicken sandwich in one hand, hot drive-through girl in another. It's a weird porno fantasy.
I think it would be really rad if that was a gay porno. I think a gay porno with Chick-fil-A employees would be fucking dope.
They should make that shit.
They should definitely make that shit. I mean, it's a copyright infringement issue, but I'm sure you could kind of
you could definitely parody it.
Yeah, you could parody it.
Yeah, I'm sure we could come up with something.
Chicks get laid.
Make it a gay trans porn parody. Like
Just really hit them where it hurts.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I love it. Just ranch dressing sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce everywhere.
I mean, if we could get a gay Ugandan, it would be even better.
I love it.
You heard about all that garbage, right?
What?
So they've been killing Ugandans and indirectly, because there's some religious genocide that Chick-fil-A's funding goes to.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, I heard about that this week. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. I'm not like surprised, but it's fucking terrible.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we're supporting. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's really weird how all of the like conservative, like right wing, like Christian entities are just committing genocide. Like that's like low key their thing.
Committing genocide, throwing people in cages, not trying to get political, but just it's hard not to.
Abandoning our allies to support Turkey. Fucking man, I'm sorry to the Kurds. We suck right now. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. America not number one at the moment.
Man, they give us
there
like
goes
12
all the
more
hate
months.
All the hate I'm going to get on the internet. Oh, America's not number one, Matt, huh?
We haven't been number one for a while. Let's be real. Like if you've driven around Los Angeles, like we're not fucking number one. Like it's a goddamn third world country out here. I saw a homeless man shooting bottle rockets onto cars at the 101 and laughing the other like in the morning, like 8 a.m. in the morning.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm living in the Joker. Like fucking yeah. Do you know what happens when you call the Hollywood Police Department? Do you know what happens?
You don't get through.
It goes to voicemail. Yeah, it goes to voicemail.
You know the best way to get a response from them, right?
How?
Tweet at them.
Tweet at them? Okay, good to know.
My roommate and I, we tweet at them when we have problems.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start doing that. Yeah, there's a guy masturbating my dumpster the other morning. I like looked out my window.
Whoa. Why are you kink shaming him?
It was 8 o'clock in the morning. There's no good time to
masturbate.
There's no, I mean, just vigorously going at it 8 a.m. like middle of the dumpster. I'm not gonna lie, I did watch for a little while. Like it was, but
Did you watch till you completed?
No, I didn't watch that long. I had to get to work and stuff, but I did call the police and they did call me back like 4 hours later. And they're like, we're really interested in arresting him if he's still around. I was like,
He's finished and gone on to another dumpster to masturbate in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you see a man masturbating in a dumpster in Hollywood, call the police because he's apparently a serial dumpster masturbator.
Unless it's me, don't call. Don't call if it's me. It's just a rough time. Sometimes you just got to get the poison out.
Going through some shit right now, man.
Right? Just stepping into the dumpster, trying to make it quick. I'm not trying to make eye contact with anyone while I'm doing it.
I mean, I would hope not, That's a power move, though.
Well, it makes it very personal at that point where it's just like locking eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think actually I had to take out my trash that morning, too. So I just had this like conundrum of like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't think I took out my trash. I just left it.
You should have given him a sex toy.
Oh, man. That would have been great. We would have solved a bunch of problems for us.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fucked up. Called the police on a man when you could have just given him a Hitachi and been like, go plug this in at Starbucks, man.
Right. This is going to feel amazing on your taint, dude. Do you know about your prostate? Like, let's level real quick.
Stimulate that butthole.
Stimulate that butthole. Fuck yeah.
You're like, what kind of fucking podcast did I sign up for?
I like this podcast. This is a good podcast. I'm into it. I'm also glad we're drinking. I've been super hungover all day, so I'm so glad we're drinking.
I've had to do a couple sober shows recently, and it's like,
Ugh, no, I don't do any sober shows. I
try not to, but I was hosting oil wrestling at Blue Zebra on Saturday, and they're like, it's an 18 up club, no alcohol. I'm like, but you booked me. Why would you do that? Why would you book me and not allow me to have alcohol?
Can I bring a flask? I don't have a problem. I swear. I've been doing this thing. I have this theory. So I keep like a really shitty plastic bottle of vodka on my counter. It's important it's on the counter, not in your freezer. It has to be lukewarm. And I don't buy any chasers because I figure until you're willing to drink like McCormick straight and warm, you don't have a drinking problem.
So it's just they're taunting you, be like, you're still good.
Right. It's like a Richter scale, But if I like go, I'm like, okay, I am going to have a drink, I'll put it in the freezer, get some chasers, but those were steps to get there. It's not desperation.
Have you heard about Saucy?
No.
It's an alcohol delivery app.
That is pretty rad. I tried to use Instacart today and it like fucked up. Like it wouldn't take my credit card. It kept saying there's like suspicious activity on your account.
What? I have a drinking problem? That's not suspicious.
I was like trying to order like chips. I just was super hungover and lazy. I was like, I have no food in my house because I was just out of town. So I was like, all right, I need groceries. I'm not going to fucking drive to like Silver Lake to go to the grocery store because I go to Trader Joe's. And so I was like, okay.
Ooh la la, Trader Joe's.
Well, okay, I live near John's and John's is like the crappiest supermarket in LA. Like John's fucking blows. It's like an off-brand Vons. And it's,
well, yeah, that's why their logo looks like it wants to be Vons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's just full of like Armenian food, like Russian, like Soviet beer. Which, by the way, tastes like nickels. It's gross. I tried it. It's only like 75 cents a bottle, but like still shitty.
Sign me up.
Yeah, right.
Like, I have some Russian heritage. I'm kicking it like the motherland.
I mean, it's kind of fun because you just like try all these foods you've never like heard of. But at the same time, like just the quality of everything there sucks. Like it's just like fruit's moldy. Like everything's like about to expire. Like it's fucking shitty. So I like go to the better supermarket. Anyways. Yeah, I spent like probably like I filled my car. I was like really stoked. I was like, yeah, man, like Instacart, I got free delivery. Like this is rad. And I went to like go check out and it said, they sent me an email. They're like, there's suspicious activity on your account. And I like called them and I was like, I'm the suspicious activity. I know like I haven't done this in a while. I try not to do it because I feel like a fucking dirtbag ordering my groceries when I'm totally capable of going to get them. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll call you back. They never called me back. So fuck you, Instacart. I really wanted my Lay's potato chips. I didn't get them, and I'm still grumpy about it.
I gotta know. The internet needs to know what flavor of Lay's.
Ranch. Yeah, ranch. I don't like sour cream and onion. I'm not an onion
barbecue.
person.
Barbecue all day.
Not a barbecue person. They're too sweet.
Get out.
I'm sorry.
The show's over.
I thought we were going to be friends too. Did you see that they just came out with a grilled cheese and tomato soup?
Why don't we get ketchup chips like Canada?
I know, right? Delicious. I agree. But they do. They're coming out like at the end of this month. I think they launch like October 21st.
Oh, yeah, we bonded again. It's cool.
I'm here for it. Apparently they are really good and I'm super fucking stoked to try them.
I had a friend of mine in Canada send me some down.
Nice. I think you can sometimes get ketchup chips in the kosher section at the grocery store. I've seen them there before.
Do they actually have the rabbi at the Lay's factory blessing the chips? Because it's not just kosher ingredients. A rabbi actually has to bless that shit.
Right? Yeah. They're not like Lay's brand. They're it's like a kosher brand, but I've definitely seen them there. So I like they have like little tea biscuit things. They're really good. I don't know.
I would be amazed. I'm honestly surprised that there's not a mustard flavor if they're kosher chips.
Right? I know. And also I love mustard. I'm a mustard person before ketchup. For sure. I love mustard.
You ever had mustard barbecue like down in South Carolina?
Yes, I have. That is pretty good. That's pretty good. I like smoky or barbecue. I don't like super sweet. But yeah, I have to say I'm not a huge barbecue person. I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got their flaws.
You know, right? It's okay to be wrong about things. Yeah.
I'm wrong all the time. I document it for the internet all the time.
Right. I know. It's just like I'm not embarrassed of anything anymore because I'm just like at this point I'm just like my butthole's on the internet. Like I've done so many embarrassing things. I don't give a shit. Like
showing your butthole to the internet's not embarrassing.
Right. I mean, you know.
I mean, I haven't seen your butthole. Maybe there's something horribly deformed about it, and it's
no. It's for anyone that's listening. My butthole is fucking flawless. Like don't get it twisted. My butthole is amazing, and you can totally. There's plenty of evidence of this.
So you're gonna go to Lloyd's of London and take out a fucking policy on it?
Oh man, no, I'm not. What's his face? God, who is it? There's a guy that has it. Oh, I can like see him in my head. No, I'm not Kieran Lee. I'm not Kieran Lee.
I was about to say, have you had sex with him?
No, I haven't. I've like never gotten booked with him. We've like talked, like I know him.
Because that'd be much funnier if you're like, oh, I had sex with him. Can't remember his name, but that's also a common occurrence in porn.
That is a very common occurrence. Yeah, I've definitely like I've forgotten people that I've worked with, and I feel really bad about it. But like, not everything is memorable, and I work a couple of times a week, so I'm like, dude, sometimes.
Sorry, dude, you didn't knock it out of the park, or do something super weird.
Right. Or it's just, well, I mean, too, like there's a lot of times when I work, like I really work with like the same people over and over again. So like there's people like I've worked with like Tommy Pistol like 4 or 5 times.
I'm sure Tommy's memorable every fucking time.
Tommy's very memorable every time. But like there's people like this. So I probably work with the same like 5 to 7 male performers.
So you're working with like 25% of them.
Yeah. You just get booked. I think it's just a scheduling thing, and it's like rotation too. Of like,
well, there's only like
shooting.
25 fucking male performers in the first place.
There is, yeah. There's not very many. And they're way worse about forgetting us than we are about forgetting them.
Well, they're having sex with a lot more y'all.
They are, and they do. I get it. They blur together because like I'm worse at remembering girls than I am guys too. Like I've definitely banged girls I don't remember.
Well, and it's one of the unfortunate parts about the industry is some people have like a couple months shelf life, and it's like, oh, unless I've had sex with you a lot of times, probably won't remember you.
Right.
Why am I talking like I'm a fucking performer? I mean, I forget people too, but
I saw this tweet today and it was fucking great. It was like, I haven't learned anybody's name since 2011. I've just been calling everybody buddy. It's like, yes, I feel that.
This is why I take pictures with people and I put them in my phone. Like, okay.
That's really smart. That's really, because I'm not good with, some people are like, oh, I'm bad with names, but I'm good with faces. I'm bad with both, man. I smoke a lot of weed. Like I have really shitty short-term memory.
I'm Matt. How's it going? You're on, and now we drink.
Thank you. I will remember you. Because I mean, I'm at your house, so I'll remember you.
I've had guests that have not remembered me and have been in my house.
Well, there's people like I'll remember them. Like I'm okay. Like my brain's like, yeah, you definitely know this person from something, and then I feel like a jerk, and I kind of like I'll do this thing where I like wait in the background for like someone else to like say their name, and then I'm like, oh hey, like Jimmy, how's it going? I'm also not good when people like change their clothes or their hair. That throws me.
That apparently is a thing.
Yeah.
Like I've grown my hair out in the last like 6-8 months, and you may know him, Josh Meyerowitz.
Yeah.
I ran into him at the Dojo Comedy like last week. I'm like, hey Josh, what's going on? He's done the show. He's been here.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on, man? He's like, hey man, do I know you? I'm like, fuck you, buddy. And then I realized, oh God, I should not be like giving shit to the guy who's very autistic.
Right. And I'm super bad about it. I like comedy stuff too, because like obviously like when I like go to the like I'm friends with like several of the door guys at the Comedy Store and stuff. So like I know them. But there's a shit ton of people that work there. There's always new people who work there. And they obviously remember me because like I'm a hot girl.
And modest.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I was an ugly kid, so I get to say it. But like I obviously like there's not a lot of female comics in general. And like I do porn, and they're all quite titillated by that. So they obviously remember me every time I like go to something. They're like, "Oh, Kate, hi, how are you?" Which is super, super nice, and I really appreciate it. But there's like 20 fucking 5 of them, and they're all like skinny white dudes. I'm like, you guys literally look exactly the same to me. Like I cannot tell the difference. I'm so sorry. Sorry guys, I'm really trying.
Well, you should try to identify them by what car they sleep in.
Oh my God, you're the 1982 like Toyota Corolla. I got you, buddy. Josh, right? That's your name? Yeah. That's a good one. That's solid.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. I don't know why every struggling male comic in LA drives like a 2004 Honda Accord.
They're affordable.
I guess. I had a Honda Accord for years, so
they're cheaper than getting an apartment here.
They are. Yes, they are cheaper than getting an apartment here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they totally are. I think my first car was like, the Blue Book value on my first car, which was a 99 Honda Accord, was less than my deposit on my apartment that I currently live in.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. 300,000 miles, man. It was still running.
What happened to it?
Good car. My parents donated it to their housekeeper. Her car broke down. She's like a friend of our family's, and she was late one day, and she came in. She's like crying and stuff. She's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm late. My car broke down." And she was like a single mom too. My parents are pretty cool people, and they had like I'd gone to college. My sister had a car, like because my parents buy like older Hondas like with cash, and they just drive them to the ground. Like at one point, they owned like 7 cars because they can't sell them. They're worth no money.
But they could be giving comics homes.
I know. Well, they live in Denver, so that's not ideal.
Hey, there's a good comedy scene in Denver.
There is actually. There really is. Like people were asking me if I was like going to go perform while I was in town. I was like, well, no, I'm not. But that's actually a fun idea. I would like to. Maybe next time. I'm going to go home for like Christmas, so maybe I'm there.
I'm sorry.
In a mic or two. What?
I'm sorry. Going to someplace where it snows for Christmas.
I know.
Ew, gross.
Well, it's going to be kind of fun because I can totally handle it because I'm only going to be there for like 4 days.
4 days too long, in my opinion.
Really? Okay, because I don't want to live around the snow anymore. I lived there for like 15 years. I don't want to deal with the fucking snow anymore. But like, I'm excited to like see the seasons. You know, it's a little nice.
I'm a Chicago native. Like, I'm over it.
Fair.
Completely over it.
Fair enough. Chicago snow is way grosser than Colorado snow.
I've been told. I have friends that moved from Chicago to Denver. I'm like, why would you guys go west and go to somewhere that snows? And they're like, dude, it sticks around for like a fucking day.
Yeah, it'll snow on Monday, and by like Friday, it's like 65 and sunny.
As much as I'm talking shit about Denver, I actually had a good time every time I've been there.
Yeah.
So
it's a cool town. It's a really cool town. It was a fun place to grow up. You know, I went to school there too, so it's I lived there for a really long time. I left because it's basically as expensive as LA now, so there's really no reason to live there anymore.
Yeah, I had a day job that tried to get me to move there and tried to get me to move there for 20 grand less than I made the year before. I'm like, you people are high.
Yeah, no, because it's not fucking cheaper to live there. It's not at all. Like I live like in Hollywood. I have a really nice apartment. I really like it. I pay $1,400 a month. My sister lives.
Who'd you kill for that apartment?
I have rent control too, dude. 4%.
How did that happen?
I know. I found it online. It's a great apartment. I love it. You know, I mean, I live in Little Armenia, but like,
I used to too. I used to live in Fountain and Edgemont. So,
Oh yeah, I'm right near there. I love it. Yeah, it was just a killer deal. I mean, they're going through my building, like renovating each apartment as they go. But
yeah, my rent controlled building, they were like, nah, we're cool with you just moving out the minute you want to leave.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're doing that because like a new company bought the building, but they didn't really. I know they've raised the prices compared to what some people definitely pay. There's definitely people that have lived there for like 20 plus years, and I don't even want to know what they're paying. But my sister lives in downtown Denver, and she has a roommate, and she pays $1,100. Like that's the same. Yeah. Why the fuck would I live in Denver? Like,
no reason.
Yeah, no reason. Like, there's way more opportunities out here. It did kind of suck to like grow up somewhere and like have it get so expensive, and be like, cool, I'm never gonna afford to like buy a house here. Like, I'm never gonna be able to like afford to live here. I might as well leave.
I wonder how native Angelinos feel about that shit, because I was led to believe LA was affordable at one point.
I've heard this. I've heard that you used to be able to like live in Echo Park on like, a janitor's salary, but you definitely can't anymore.
Well, it also used to be gangland at that point.
Yeah, but if you stuck around for long enough.
Oh no, I met a woman a couple months ago who was like, oh yeah, I have a house that's the whole rent on it's $800 in Echo Park.
Jesus Christ.
This nice family owns it, but that allowed me to save up enough to buy a place so I'm moving out of it. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I would never leave. That's cheaper than a mortgage.
Right. I'm like, can you introduce me to your landlord? I will move in tomorrow.
Right.
That will just become the Now We Drink Studios. I can swing an extra $800 a month till my lease is up.
I have great references, and I'm a great tenant. I always pay on time. Don't ask my last landlord. I'm suing him right now. But like, other than that, I'm good. I also didn't realize this is just a thing that you have to do in LA when you move. You just sue your landlord. That's what you do to get your deposit back. If you don't, they won't give it back to you.
I didn't have to sue my last landlord, but I had to haggle.
Yeah. It's a thing. Like I literally, like everyone's just like, oh, you just take them to small claims court. I had no idea that was the thing. I've never, and I fear conflict too. So like, I think this is in like December that I have to go, but it's like $5,000, dude. I fucking need that back. So
That's
like,
it's massive.
Yeah. Huge deposit. He was a jackass. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, like I gotta go do this. And I'm like, and I have a lawyer and he like looked over. He's like, this is like open and shut. You're gonna get this back. It's not a big deal.
How much does the lawyer take him though?
I only had to pay him a couple $100. He's a friend of mine. So he like drafted a letter for me and stuff. He's a cool dude. So yeah.
Is he a friend because he's a big porn fan, or is he legitimately a friend?
No, he's legit. I mean, I found him through, because when all of this happened and I was like, I'm not going to get my deposit back. And I freaked. I think I called like my agent and I was like, hey, like, I need a lawyer. Like, do you know anybody? And they obviously know a lot of people that are industry adjacent. So yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a nice dude. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just a nice dude.
A nice dude. I mean, okay, like we said, sometimes you get things. It's cool, man. I got set up for the prom, so I'm like, I feel like I deserve it now.
Man, you got stood up for the prom?
I got set up for the prom.
Oh, I got to hear this story.
Yeah, okay, so like, I was my senior year of high school. I was not like super, like I was kind of attractive in high school, but I was very insecure. I definitely was not like a bombshell. Like nobody was like jumping at, And so my friend Nick asked me to prom, and I was really fucking stoked.
Oh, that is even fucking worse. Your friend.
Yeah, we were really good friends too. Yeah, so he asked me to prom, and so I was really fucking stoked. Like my mom took me to get a dress. Like I was so excited. It's a beautiful dress, and it was like 4 days before the prom, and he called me, and he's like, "Yeah, so like I actually have this girlfriend, Emily, and I'm gonna take her to the prom instead."
Did he actually take Emily?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I was about to say, at least it's not like some made up girlfriend in Canada or some shit.
No, it was not like a made up thing, but he had a girlfriend the entire time and just like didn't tell me.
So he was gonna pity take you to prom?
I don't even know. He smoked a lot of weed, so I don't know what he was fucking doing.
He got so high he forgot about his girlfriend.
It's very possible that man was not terribly intelligent. It worked out though. My friend Joey, who we'd been friends since I guess friends. We went to like kindergarten together. He ended up calling me like later that day. I was obviously like super upset, and he's like, "Hey man, I heard what happened. I think that sucks. Like I don't have a date. We have all the same friends. You want to just go as friends and they have a really good time?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do." So I went Joey. Shout out Joey, you fucking rock. I still appreciate that, and I tell the story. And also fuck you, Nick, for standing me up for the prom.
So I'm assuming you and Nick's friendship was over at that point.
It was. Nick sells used couches in Denver now, so I think I got the last laugh.
Oh, you should go in there and like check out his used couches, like sit on them,
Right.
waste a bunch of his time when you're back home. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna take the maybe can you show me this one, Nick? And just because he's a salesperson, he can't be rude to you.
Right?
Just waste hours of his time.
That would be hilarious. No, I'm not that bitter about it. I feel like his life sucks enough that he spends every day like cleaning micro suede.
It's not a bitter thing. It's a bit.
It is kind of a bit. That would be sort of funny. Yeah, I dig it.
Come on, you could go on stage and talk about it. I ruined
I've actually never talked about the story on stage, which I feel like I should. Like, I've definitely told that story to people before because it is really funny, but like, I've never done that on stage. I might try that tonight.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely comedy there.
There is. I feel like this kind of, I always hate like the week leading up to a show because like I like to go to open mics and just like experiment and just play. Like it's like the gym. It's just like, it's like the gym. It's kind of like therapy. It's just fun. But like the week like leading up to a show, especially at, like the Comedy Store, like I'm like, okay, I need to go like run my type 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which like, I know my type 5. That's not fun for me to do. I know it. Like I know it like the back of my hand, but I still need to like go through it because I have a couple tweaks.
It's work.
It's work, yeah, and it becomes less fun than just me getting up there and like doing something fucking stupid, which is what's really fun about open mic. So I try to do, if I do 2 in a night, like tonight, I'll probably do 2, and so like the first one I'll do new stuff, because it's like my go-to mic that I always go to anyways. So I'll just do random shit and throw it at the wall, and then like the next one I'll like actually run my actual set. So a balance.
Solid. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't wait to hear when this is like a polished bit about you talking about poor Nick.
Poor Nick. I know. I always told people like that if I ever won like an AVN award or anything, like that if my acceptance speech, I would be like, thank you to my agent, like thank you to everyone that hires me, and like fuck you, Nick, for standing me up for the prom because it's on Showtime, and I just think it would be really, really funny if Nick had to see that later and just be, I think that'd be hilarious.
Oh, if you can, like tweet him or text him the live link for streaming.
Exactly.
Because unfortunately, Showtime sometimes edits around acceptance speeches.
They do. Yeah. I'll
I'm-
make sure someone. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm gonna win an award. I'm definitely not. But like, it would be cool. I was just nominated one. I was finally like, well, I was nominated for an AVN last year. I did not win. It's cool. I knew I wasn't gonna win. I lost a Tommy pistol. He like fucked a couch. So like, I think it was like I was like,
Was
dude,
it most outrageous sex scene?
It was most outrageous sex scene. And I was like, yeah, I saw him afterwards. I was like, dude, I'm so glad you won. Like, you worked so much harder than I did.
I mean, if you're against Tommy Pistol, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah,
That's just how it works.
The entire category was like 5 movies and 4 of them were Tommy Pistol. So it was like, and then one was like the one I was in. I was nominated for Best New Starlet at the Night Move show in Tampa. I did not win. It's cool, man. I don't know who won. I think it was Victoria Vox and Lacey. They do like a weird thing where there's like an editor's pick and a an editor's pick and a fan vote pick. So there's like 2 winners for every award, I think.
The fan voting is always suspect for every award.
Fan voting is I
forgot what year it was, but there was one year at AVN where Riley Steele won every fan award, every one of them. Like, that's not suspect, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, yeah, and two, it's just like how many like followers you have and how willing you are to like. Which I mean, I don't knock the hustle because I don't do that. Like I don't have. That
I think that's just full on someone hacking at that point.
It's very possible, definitely. I mean, some of these girls like, and I have fans that kind of do this too, and I don't really like. I don't have that like work ethic. I just fucking don't. So like I'll occasionally be like, thanks for nominating me, and like vote for me. Like I literally will post things. So I'm like, vote for me if you feel like it and you think I deserve it. If you don't, it's totally cool. Like I'm from the Midwest and I'm not really good at bragging about myself. This makes me really uncomfortable. But yeah, there's girls like every fucking day, like vote for me. Here's the link. Vote for me. Like every fucking like couple hours, really scheduling that shit on like Hootsuite or whatever. I'm sorry guys. I don't have the fucking drive. Vote for me if you feel like it.
Make a publicist do it for you.
I really appreciate it. Somebody like, because there's a bunch of those tweets going around on Twitter right now.
It is the season.
Voting. Yeah, it's the season. And someone tweeted that they nominated my dog for cutest dog ever.
That's an award this year?
It's not, but I like retweeted. I was like, vote for Squeege. So
I was about to say, I'm about to put on a dog costume and get nominated.
it should be. And Squeegee would win hands down. I have a 3-legged dog. She's adorable.
Yeah, it's much cuter than I'm ever going to be. Shit.
She's so cute, man. It's pretty great. She kind of like walks on her back legs and she's very cute. She's like a tiny velociraptor.
You're not going to get her one of those wheels?
So she's missing her front leg, so I can't. Like those are for back legs.
Why can't you get them for the front leg?
So it's a birth defect. So she has one leg that goes out and then the other's like a chicken wing. So like she can't, there's no way to like put her limb in there. And there you can get like prosthetics because people ask me this all the time. Like, what? But I saw this thing on Facebook with these dogs that have prosthetics. Those prosthetics cost like $10,000.
I smell a GoFundMe.
I know, right? I'm like I just carry her places. She's fine. But yeah, I love that people like, yeah, everyone thinks that like you could just get her this. I'm like, no. Have you ever like looked at like I've contacted companies like that to do it and stuff. It's $10,000. I love her, but like not $10,000. I'm sorry. Like I already paid to fix her ACL. That was $4,000. So like we're not doing this again.
Can you get her a pet insurance plan and then claim it that way?
She does have pet insurance, but like pet insurance is super, super shitty. So it's kind of like unless it's like if it's a pre-existing condition, which obviously that is.
You just need a doctor to commit some fraud.
Right. I'll have to ask her vet. I like her vet. I can do that.
Come on. That's got to be able to do some, insurance fraud. Insurance companies make a lot of money. They can afford a little fraud.
Yeah, right. Her like pet insurance is like nationwide. Like it's like legit insurance. Her insurance is better than my health insurance and it's way cheaper.
Oh, it's going to be so fucked up. Next time you get a cold, like the dog's got a cold. I need some pills.
Right. Oh my God. There was the thing. Actually, I'm reading this book about, I also read all the time because I'm a fucking nerd. I'm reading this book about the opioid epidemic and like how that kind of went. And that was a huge problem is that like vets were writing prescriptions for people's dogs.
That's not a problem.
Oxycontin. Well, I mean, it was a really big problem in terms of like addiction in Appalachia.
I mean, they live in Appalachia. They need the help.
It's really terrible. Like they really like targeted that region to such an extent. I'm sorry, this isn't funny. Like it's just it's a very interesting book. It's called Dope Sick, and I started reading on the plane because I've been on planes lately, and I always read on planes. So
no, the opioid epidemic really isn't funny, but
yeah.
Jesus Christ, they live in Appalachia. They need the help. They need the pills.
I know. I get it.
If I lived in West Virginia, I would have died of an overdose a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. It's that or a mind collapse. Like you really only have 2 choices.
Oh, that'd be miserable. Like
Dude, that's like one of my worst nightmares.
Well, I just thought about like the mind collapsing and you not dying right away and then going through withdrawals while you die.
Oh my God, that'd be fucking terrible. Yeah, that would be absolutely terrible. Yeah.
Just to make it super dark out of.
Right. I'm claustrophobic anyway, so I like the idea of being like trapped in something like, oh.
Do you have problems flying?
No, no. Well, I'm also small, so like people keep complaining the airline seats are getting smaller, and like I don't give a shit. Like I'm so small that I can just like there's still plenty of room for me.
Hey, hint, fat American, you're probably just getting bigger.
I mean, no, the seats are getting way smaller, and it is shitty. But like, yeah, as long as I don't like sitting in the middle.
No one likes sitting in the middle.
Likes sitting in the middle. But as long as I mean, I still have plenty of room to stretch out. I flew first class once, and that was fucking dope. Oh my God, it's so much better.
Oh yeah, they treat you so much better.
So much better. They just pour you wine the entire trip. I was going to Cleveland. I was fucking hammered when I got off the plane.
Don't ever fly international business class. It will spoil you.
Okay, good to know.
I, at one point, traveled a lot and was diamond with Delta. So I was getting upgraded all the time.
Yeah.
There were a couple of years where I never even saw a coach seat.
Oh, man.
And 2014, I flew 149,000 miles.
Jesus.
And did not see a coach seat that whole year. And I have no status now. It's like, I was in the promised land.
Right.
And now
it's yanked away from you. Yeah, those warm towels, the warm, moist towels. Oh, my God.
And no one even blinking at me on a 6 a.m. flight ordering whiskey before we take off.
Right. Oh, I do like that about the airport is that like nobody judges you for drinking at any. The things I like about the airport is you're allowed to drink at any time of the day or night. Doesn't matter. And also you can sit down on the floor anywhere. As an adult, you're not allowed to do that other places.
Speak for yourself.
If you sit down on the floor anywhere else besides the airport, people give you weird looks. But at the airport, it's totally acceptable.
That's only if you care about other people's judgment. You're in porn. Why do you care about anyone else's judgment?
I'm a very like cognizant, like polite person. I can't help it.
Well, don't be in the walkway. Sit down on the floor, though.
Too. I mean, yeah, I never sit in the walkway, but yeah.
Yeah, you're just sitting on the floor. Fuck them. It's not like you're masturbating in a dumpster.
Right. Or that's kind of like a trend on like OnlyFans too. Like I see girls constantly like shooting videos in like airplane bathrooms, which like I get the gimmick, but like fucking gross, man. I'm not standing in there any longer than I have to.
Well, it's just a dick move. There's 3 bathrooms for a couple hundred people.
Yes, that
have all been drinking.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I can't drive to the airport either because like I know as soon as I get to the airport, like I'm just like my like monkey brain is just like alcohol. Yes, we can drink now. We can drink. So I can't drive to and from the airport because there's no way I'm going to be sober when I get off the plane. It's just not going to happen.
Plus, who wants to drive to LAX?
Dude, fucking nobody. Man, I took the flyaway bus home. It was $8 and I would have paid $8 million to not do that. It was fucking terrible.
Well, you do it once.
I did it one time.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah, I did it one time. Never fucking doing it again. It was terrible. Like, I will pay as much money as it costs to take an Uber. Like, I'm not. But you're not even allowed to. They don't do pickups at LAX anymore. You have to take a shuttle.
I thought that wasn't kicking in until the end of the month.
Yeah, I think it's like next week.
The 29th.
Yeah. And so you have to like take a shuttle to another location and then call your Uber from there.
I think they're going to have the Ubers just staged in that lot. So the minute you get it's there.
Okay. And that's kind of what they do in Vegas, which in Vegas, it's not bad, but it's also closer in Vegas because it's like in the parking garage, like directly across from the airport. Like you don't have to get on a shuttle. And that's the shitty part is waiting for the shuttle. I waited for an hour and a half for the flyaway bus to Hollywood the other day. Like
sounds about right.
3 buses to Van Nuys passed me. And I really rethought living in the valley. I was like, but maybe it wasn't that bad. It was that bad.
Wouldn't that even be even worse that you get on the flyaway bus and then go to the valley?
Right. Like it's your trip to hell. Like it's literally a trip to hell because the destination is terrible too.
Oh, nothing worse than there's been a couple girls that I've picked up like that don't live in town that had to take the flyaway bus to Van Nuys. I had to pick them up for a shoot in Van Nuys. Like, I'm sorry we did this to you. There's just not much budget for this shoot.
Right. Oh my God, that would be terrible. Yeah. Fucking Van Nuys.
Especially because some of those girls, it was like their first scene. Like, welcome to porn.
That's so sad. I flew down to LA. I worked behind the scenes in porn for like a year before I started performing. So I lived in Portland and I was working for like a bondage company up there. They're great.
Were you working for the dude who like plays dead and like fucks?
I have worked for them several times. I'm amazing at being dead. I'm super good at it. I'm amazing at dying. I look really good. I can drown. I can hang. I'm good at all of it. I can keep my eyes open underwater. Yeah, that's a skill. But I was working for Insects up there, which is they do like hard tie. It's actually broken. So it was really cool. I got that job like out of college. They needed a new marketing person, an affiliate manager, and they offered me a job. And I was like, fuck yeah! It was like best job I ever had. It was so fun. Like I wore like nothing but like cargo pants and like baseball caps and no makeup. And I would just be like in the woods, like building bondage equipment. It was fucking rad. I mean, you make no money, but it was super fun. So I did that for a year, and then I became a performer from there.
Do you miss it?
I do sometimes. I do. It was a really fun job. It's kind of stressful. I mean, being behind the scenes, especially just because I mean the pay differential, especially like Portland is cheaper than LA, significantly so. It's cheaper than Denver too, which fucking blows my mind. And Portland's a great city. I loved living there, and it was like my first time like moving out of like where I grew up and like kind of being on my own. And I had like this tiny studio apartment, and I started dancing while I was there as a stripper, which was really fun. I would do that at night. So yeah, I do miss it sometimes. It was really fun. I mean, it's also like just lower pressure. Like there's definitely a part of me that like the fact that, and I get it. Like I make my money based on how I look, and I'm cool with that. But like that is kind of, as someone that's not really that kind of person, I don't enjoy getting my nails done or my hair or whatever. It's not my thing.
For the audio audience, there's no nail polish on it right now.
There's not at all. I have a shoot tomorrow and I'm gonna have to like do it like later tonight. I do press-ons because I can't fucking sit there for like an hour and a half. It's like $150 and it's an hour and a half. And you know how they do like acrylic nails? They use like a fucking Dremel, and sometimes they nick you and you bleed, and then they yell at you in Vietnamese. It's fucking terrible. $150.
Would you prefer they yelled at you in English? That's weird.
I kind of would prefer, because I would like to know what they're saying. Like, well, then I feel like a jerk too, because I'm like, I don't know your language, and like I feel like an asshole. Like I'm not, like I'm such an American. Like I speak a little Spanish. That's it.
Just pull out the Google Translate as they start screaming and have them scream into the phone.
I'm like, well, also, why are you yelling at me for bleeding when you cut me?
You're fucking up their hard work.
I know. Yeah, and I do. I always fuck it up too. Like I can't stay still long enough, so like I always fuck it up, and then I have to like have them fix it, and I can just tell like inside they're like, this fucking bitch. Yeah, so I do press-ons now. They're like $8.95, and it only takes like 10 minutes, and they look just as good as the real ones.
Well, now I know. For my shoot tomorrow, I'm just gonna slap them right on.
I forget who it was, but there was a porn girl that posted that on Twitter like a couple of months ago. And she like had like a package of like press-on nails in her hand. She's like, my secret weapon for like porn shoots. And a bunch of other girls were like, oh my God, me too. Like, I don't fuck with the nail salon anymore. This shit's so much better. Well, because also like your nails have to look good. You want them to look like fresh, like brand new for every scene. But if you're working all the time, like I had a male talent one time tell me, like he looked at my nails, he's like, oh girl, you need a fill. And I was like, yeah, I need a fill. Like you need a dick in your ass, dude. Like this is what's going on?
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I was a little offended, right? So yeah, I mean that's easier because you can just put them on.
Trade secrets, y'all. Mm-hmm. Trade secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Much like porn sex, it's like it's supposed to be aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't necessarily have to stand up to like the sniff test in person.
No, absolutely, yeah. And that's the other thing is like no one's like paying attention. I mean, unless it's like a like blowjob heavy scene where you're really seeing my nails. Like,
I hope no one's paying attention to your nails during that.
I would hope so, but I have seen like comments on like ones where girls' nails look shitty, where they're like, "Couldn't you fucking do your nail?" You know.
Porn fans, I love you and all, but some of y'all weird.
Dude, some of them comment on the weirdest shit. Like it's, oh my God. Or I like when they like comment, like, cause you'll get like Twitter posts where they'll be like, they tag like a bunch of girls or whatever. And they'll be like, I only like this one. Like, all right, fuck you. No one asked. That wasn't what this was for.
No one wanted your opinion, bro.
Yeah, no, and there was a guy, because I was in a movie. Oh yeah, so I was in a movie for Evil Angel, and it's with like Dana Vespoli, who was fucking awesome. She directed my scene. She's amazing. And Evil was like tweeting about it, and they were promoting it. And so we were both tagged in it, and one of her fans started commenting under it. He's like, I don't care about any of these other bitches. I just want Dana. And I like commented back. I was like, I don't care about you either, but you don't see me going on about it. Like, and then he came around and all of a sudden he became like my fan. He got really annoying. It was hilarious.
You pay attention to him. That's where you fucked up.
Right? I know.
You give these guys a little bit of attention. They're just never out of your life.
Give them an inch, they take a mile. Although some of my fans, I actually really like my fans. I have a good fan base. I really like a lot of them.
Spend money. Buy the dog a prosthetic.
They do. They send Squeegee toys. They'll send her treats and stuff like from my wish list. It's really fucking rad. Yeah.
How weird is your is your wish list?
It's really not that weird. Like
That's
there's
a shame.
couple. Yeah, I did ask for like a pair of Crocs one time. Because I thought it'd be really funny.
What, are you putting together a Ron Jeremy costume?
I was like, I like put them on. I was like, look, I added a pair of Crocs to my wish list, and if someone buys them for me, I will make a porno in these Crocs. I will totally do that. I will make a porno where I wear nothing but Crocs. I think this would be fucking hilarious. Please bankroll this for me. And within 5 minutes, I had them, which was great. But then I couldn't find male talent that was like willing to do that. I asked a couple of people, and they're like, no.
Even Tommy Pistol wouldn't do that?
I probably could ask Tommy Pistol, and I feel like he would. I should
100%.
I should. Tommy Pistol and I. This is like one of my favorite Tommy stories, of many, because there's a bunch. I did a gangbang for kink.com a couple of months ago, and later that night, it was a last minute thing. They called me at like 7 a.m. They're like, "Hey, can you do a 5-guy anal gangbang?" And I was like, "I'm up." Whenever I get those calls, I've always been like drinking the night before. I'm like, fuck. Because they don't go out every single night, but invariably, if I get a last minute shoot, I'm always like, oh my God, like, I really hope I don't shit on anybody. It's never happened.
Oh, whiskey shits are the worst.
The worst. But we're there, and I was, that night, one of my friends works at the Roxy, and Jim Jeffries was doing a show there. And he had gotten me tickets, and he's like, hey, like, so I had like a front row ticket, like I had two spots too. And so I was kind of saying behind the scenes, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see Jim Jeffries at the Roxy tonight. And Tommy was like, wait, you're doing what? And I was like, yeah. I was like, do you want to come? I have an extra ticket. I was going to go by myself, but you can totally come with me. And he's like, yeah, I do. So we ended up going. Like, we did a gangbang. And like 3 hours later, he and I went to go see Jim Jeffries. It was a blast.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah.
Jeffries is a good fucking show, too.
Very good show. He's really funny. And it was, it's the show. It's Josh Adam Meyer's show, and it's Goddamn Comedy Jam, where they do, yeah. They do like each comic comes up and does like 5 to 10 minutes, and then they end it with like a song, and there's a live band and everyone sings along, and it's super, super fucking fun. Like the audience all dances around because it's all like in sync, or like Britney Spears. Somebody did a fucking great Toxic Britney Spears, and it was hilarious.
I'm trying to. Last time I saw the Goddamn Comedy Jam was also at Skankfest in New York, and Tony Hinchcliffe was performing. Big J was performing.
Oh, cool! I know Big J. I met Big J in New York last time I was there, which was cool. Yeah, he's very fun.
I'm surprised you haven't sent a tape to do a Skankfest South.
That would be rad. I don't even know where I would send that, but I would totally do it.
Louis J. Gomez tweeted something about it like a week or two ago.
Okay, I will look that up. That sounds fucking rad.
Yeah, they're doing all expenses paid down to Houston for Skankfest South.
Sweet. I mean, it's Houston, but I'm down.
Hey, giant comedy festival. All expenses paid.
In Houston, that joke writes itself. Houston is the butthole of America. I cannot tell why. It is. I was born in Dallas. Technically, I only lived there for like a few years. We moved to Colorado pretty quickly, but yeah, Houston is definitely the butthole of America. And they don't even have the Astrodome anymore. What the fuck, Houston?
Wow.
Sorry,
fucking hate
on my soapbox about this shit. Why would we fucking tears down the Astrodome? That shit was so cool.
Houston and their complete lack of zoning.
I mean, and I get that it leaked, but come on. That shit was rad.
No. It's gotta go. Gotta fucking
go. Man, hey, like we're hosting the Olympics in a couple years here in LA.
I will not be here for it.
Dude, I'm gonna go out of town for like 2 weeks.
Me too. I'm gonna Airbnb this place while I'm gone.
Yeah. Oh, that's so smart. Fuck yeah, that's brilliant. Dude, yeah. No, I'm not gonna be. We don't have the infrastructure. We can't do it. Like our traffic is so bad in the mornings already. We cannot handle the Olympics. Who? Why? What? No. Someone
thought it would be glorious.
Right. The infrastructure of the city is literally crumbling around. It's gross. Like I was explaining, like I accidentally said this while I was at home with my mom, and I was like, someone asked me like about like what Hollywood was like, and I was like, oh, Hollywood's great. It always smells like piss and inspiration. And my mom's like, what? It smells like what? And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I wasn't supposed to tell my mom that. Like she's gonna be. I was like, you can never visit me. Ever.
You definitely couldn't tell her about the masturbating dude.
No, which is a shame because I think that's so funny, and she'd be so like, yeah. I was like, you cannot see where I live. Like where I live is really nice compared to most people I know. But my parents cannot come visit. Absolutely not. My parents can't drive on the 405. Are you kidding? They live in Colorado.
Why would they be on the 405 to get here anyways?
I mean, if we were going to go to like Beverly Hills or something, I don't know what they would want to do if we went here. They've never been to LA.
If they want to go to Beverly Hills, that's their fucking problem.
I know. The last time I went to Beverly Hills was to go to the Holocaust Museum.
Well, no.
Nothing about that sentence is fun.
No, it's really not.
It wasn't. I went on a date. So
Wait, who takes someone on a date to the Holocaust Museum?
This is like the worst day. It was so fun. So like so I kind of like casually date someone. Like he lives out of town. So like when he's here, we date and he comes back like once a month, which is really fun. And we're both big like museum nerds. Like our thing, we like to get really stoned and go to museums.
The Holocaust Museum?
I know. So it was his last day here. He'd been here for like several weeks. And I was like, bro, what do you want to do tomorrow? Like, it's your last day. I was like, do you want to go to Venice? Like, we go to the beach. You want to go to Hollywood? Like, what do you want to do? Let's go do something really funny. So like, do you want to go to the Museum of Tolerance? And I was like, okay, whatever. So we went, and then like it was really uncomfortable because it's a fucking Holocaust museum. It's super sad. And like there's like a family from like Ohio there with us. And like we're just kind of walking through. And at one point I kind of was like, being a little cheat, like grabbed his butt. And he just was like, you grabbed my butt in the Holocaust museum. And so like we got out of there and I was like, all right, this is, we both agreed. We're like, bad date idea, super bad. And we're like, okay, we went and got some like lunch. And then I had to go refill a prescription at my psychiatrist's office in Glendale. And he also needed to go over there because his buddy lived there and he needed to pick something up. So I was like, all right, well, I can give you a ride. I was like, so cool. Our date was that we went to the Holocaust Museum and then we entered it at my psychiatrist's office.
Sounds like a very productive Hollywood date.
It was like, I mean, like we went on more. It was not our last date for sure. It's a memorable one.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking memorable.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's pretty fucking memorable. We went to the Museum of Death last time. Also memorable, really gross.
Honestly, I feel like that's less morbid than going to a Holocaust museum.
You would think so, but it's way grosser, which is kind of like at one point we're kind of like, like holding hands or whatever. And like, it's kind of interesting. This much like cult and like serial killer shit. We got to this like hallway and it's like just this like exhibit of like car accidents from the 1940s, like before they had seatbelts. And he just kind of looks at me. He's like, I'm really sorry, but like, I don't think I can make out with you in here anymore. I don't think we should like touch you. I was like, dude, I feel you. I'm right on the same page. Like, I'm a little queasy.
Oh, come on. That autopsy video totally gets me hard.
Oh God, I couldn't watch that. Like, I don't like that. Like everything else was kind of cool. Like was fine. I thought it was gross, honestly. Like,
oh, it's one of those things that I've been to once.
Yeah.
Friends from out of town dragged me there because it's right around the corner.
It's very close. Yeah.
And if my audience hasn't figured out where I live yet, they probably will soon. But yeah, it was just like, okay, I just spent $18 for this shit.
Yeah.
That could have been alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. And like also like it's just, I don't know, there's something like upsetting about like seeing clothes that people were like electrocuted in. Like there's weird stains.
Well, and all the Manson family Sharon Tate murder stuff.
That I was going to bring that up. That was particular. I was like, I don't think, because you can't really even find those pictures on the internet. They're not accessible on the internet where like it's pregnant Sharon Tate. I mean, it's very upsetting. That was really the thing where I was just like, okay, like I get why someone would make a museum of this. It is kind of cool. But like, I was like, these don't need to be seen by people. This is too much. That's upsetting.
I just find no entertainment value in it.
No, not at all. I was like, this feels like something that's like private that like we should not be gawking at. This is not for entertainment purposes.
Speaking of which, how do you gotta feel? I mean, yes, Roman Polanski's a piece of shit.
Oh, I know.
But how would you feel like that your significant other and your unborn child are just constantly recycled in pop culture forever?
Yeah, brutally murdered. On top of which, like, as a child, Roman Polanski watched his dad being, like, taken off by the Nazis and was told to, like, go hide. His dad, the last thing his dad ever said to him was, like, no, don't talk to me. Don't pretend you're related to me. Like, go. So, like, I get, and I hate to be like, oh, man, this is totally going to come back and haunt me in, like, 10 years. I know this is going to come back and haunt me. I could see how having such a fucking terrible life as Roman Polanski has had, you could have like some sort of break in your brain and then, commit an act that is objectively horrible and terrible and it's not excusable. But I kind of can understand the psychology behind that, right? Like the man's had some shit happen.
Yeah. If he's not a horrible nihilist, like at this point, nothing, I can't imagine anything actually mattering to him.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I like Chinatown, so.
Oh, yeah. It's a fucking classic movie.
A really fucking great movie. Yeah. And the water wars are super, super interesting.
The Rape of Owens Valley.
Dude, man, what the fuck? And like Mulholland just straight up lied about that shit too. He's like, we're only going to take what when we need. It's not going to be a lot. And he knew he was putting it all in the aquifer in the San Fernando Valley. He fucking knew. Yeah, I did I do like these deep dives once in a while. I have some wine. I like go in a Wikipedia rabbit hole. One of my favorite ones is about Mulholland because he's super interesting, and like his whole career ended because that dam exploded. The Francis Dam. Yeah, his career ended. He inspected this dam 12 hours before it broke. It's like the worst like disaster, man-made disaster in California history. Like 400 people died. And he literally 12 hours before was like, it's fine. He inspected it, it was fine. And he was known apparently for being like really hubristic of being like, I'm William Mulholland. I brought the water to Los Angeles. I'm fucking God. And
this city has so much corruption in its history. It's crazy.
Crazy. It's super, super interesting.
You know about the red car, right?
No, I don't.
So we had a very robust streetcar system in the 20s.
Okay.
GM bought it and took it out of service.
That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, if you pull up the red car map, it's insane where it went to.
I did know that we had like a lot of cities had really good streetcar systems. Even smaller towns did. And then, I was definitely killed by the automobile.
No, GM actually bought it.
Yeah.
And like took it out of service.
Yeah, that's a more direct death than
I'm trying to pull up a picture of the coverage map, but there's the coverage map.
Oh shit, that's so much better than the Metro. What the fuck?
So for the audio audience and probably the video audience, depending on how lazy I feel about editing this, the motherfucking red car, according to this map, went from Newport Beach all the way to Calabasas. And went all the way to San Bernardino.
And how much would that save everybody now, like compared to like how much time like we spend on the freeways? Like I just had a conversation with my girlfriend about this the other day. Like we're on the phone and we're literally like ranking our highways in terms of like which freeway you'd like to be stuck on in traffic. I like the 101. The 101 is my favorite.
Depending on where you're stuck on the 101.
I still prefer the 101. 170 fucking sucks. I will avoid 170 at all costs because it's just so windy. It's so poorly maintained. I feel like my car's just gonna like skid off the road. Obviously no one likes the 405. The 405 is fucking garbage. I don't like I'll tolerate the 134. Like, yeah.
If you have to.
If I have to.
If I have to go to Burbank.
If I have to go to Burbank. I like Burbank. I mean, I would way rather fly out of Burbank than LAX any fucking day.
Well, yeah, I meant the city, not necessarily the airport, but
yeah. I like Burbank as a city too, though. Burbank's fun. It's close to Hollywood too, which is kind of nice.
It is. I mean, I much rather fly out of Burbank too.
Yeah.
They don't have a lounge. That's the only reason I don't want to fly out of there.
No, they don't. And everything is ridiculously expensive at Burbank. Like even more so than a normal airport. I went to buy a juice the other day. I was flying out of there and it didn't have a price on it. So I wasn't really paying attention. I gave it to him. One juice, it was $16. And I just started laughing, like handed him my credit card. I'm just laughing and like walking away. I was like, fuck my life.
Too much shame to take it back and be like, nah, I don't want that after all.
It was almost just like that it was so ridiculous that it was $16. I was like, I have to buy this. This is insane.
Like, bro, there's no alcohol in this, right?
No.
How is this $16?
Fucking cold pressed watermelon juice. It tastes like fucking dirt.
Yeah, I'm too Jewish. I've been like, nope, take that shit back. Take that shit back.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even get like a sandwich or some shit. It was literally just that. Also, like I got to the Denver airport this weekend, and my dad was also flying in, so we were gonna like drive up together. And so I was waiting for him because his flight got in like 2 hours after mine. And I went to the bar at the Denver. Things are free in Denver. Holy shit. The beer was like $5. I was like, keep bringing me these.
You're like I'm gonna go over to New Belgium because they have a New Belgium brewery bar in Denver.
So that's actually a whole thing. So they were doing a total rehaul. It's like a multi-billion-dollar renovation of DIA. The contractor quit. So it's like halfway done and it's not getting finished. It's just stalled. So everything, like there used to be like tons of restaurants on like the top levels and stuff in like the main, like before you get to the terminals, like the main hall. It's all fucking gone. There's one place to drink at DIA before you get to the terminal.
Do you think he discovered the Illuminati secrets and quit?
They actually have like, I sent a picture of somebody where like they have like advertisements about that. Like they're like playing into it. They're leaning in, which I appreciate.
Playing into it.
Right. That airport's fucking weird, man.
The fucking giant blue horse.
Blucifer. Blucifer is his name. Yeah, he killed his creator. It fell. The giant blue horse statue fell on the artist as he was creating it. That wasn't always there either. Like I remember those murals being a kid. Like that was very much a thing, and I was really scared of them as a kid. But the horse didn't come around until I was in like high school.
Yeah, It didn't taste blood till a little bit later.
Yeah, right. Well, and its eyes are like red. They like glow in the sun. It's fucking terrifying. They have a nice hotel there now too, which is kind of cool. But they also have a light rail system. Speaking of public transit, that goes there, which is fucking awesome. When I lived in Denver, I would always take it. It's like $8, and it takes like 35 minutes. It's super fast. It's great.
Well, la-di-da. Denver's better than LA. La-di-da.
Public transit wise, they've been investing. They have a great light rail system. It's actually really rad.
They have all that marijuana money.
Dude, they do. That's when it changed. That was the first election I got to vote in. Was in 2012. I was 18, and we like nobody thought it was going to pass. It'd been on the ballot like a couple of times in the last couple of years. And I was at my buddy's frat house, and it was in college. And all of a sudden, like, I hear this guy running through the house. He's like, Amendment 64 passed, Amendment 64 passed. And everybody blazed up. I, like, walked out of the room a couple minutes later and just smoke. Like, oh, it was awesome.
So were you in a sorority?
No, I rushed, but then, like, I got, like, it was raining, and you're supposed to, like, walk to these fucking houses, and it was raining, and I was tired, and so I was kind of, like, I had a cold, and I just was, like, I called, like, my rush leader, and I was like, I quit. I guess I'm not that into this. It's like it's very like par for the course for me. Like I fucking quit things. I'm no work ethic.
You're like, nope. Don't need all that.
Like in retrospect, like I would have been a terrible member of a sorority too. Like I was not at all. Like would have been into that. But
you might have been the most famous member of the sorority if your life had gone the same way.
I'm definitely the coolest person I went to high school with, for sure. Bar none. Like people that I went to high school with finally found out I do porn. It took like over a year. I was kind of pissed. I had a joke about it in my stand-up for a while where it's like nobody called me to yell at me or congratulate me. I don't really give a shit. I was a loser in high school. All I wanted was the recognition that I didn't get fat or pregnant. That was all I wanted. Nobody. And finally they did. And I have to say, like, the guy that found my porn in high school was exactly the person you would think.
Was it Nick?
No, it was not Nick. It was this guy who, like, I feel like everyone went to high school with a guy like this. And I could be wrong because I've told this joke and apparently it's not as relatable. But, like, I feel like everyone knows someone from high school that only had one ball. Like, no one ever saw it. It was just, like, this low-key thing where, like, Eric only has one testicle. Like, he got scratched by a cat as a kid. He only has one testicle.
What a horrible way to fucking lose a ball. Like,
I know.
Like he's fucking Nick Fury's eye.
But also, like, if you meet him, you're like, yeah, dude, you totally only have one testicle. That makes complete sense. And he, like, found out about it. And then he, like, told everybody. He told I have, like, one good friend from high school that we still keep in touch. He's known about it forever. And he's like, yeah, like, Eric, like, called me and told me about this. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I just was like, I don't give a shit. I knew about this 2 years ago, dude. But, yeah, definitely the person you would think. He's clearly compensating for something, right? But yeah,
I mean, bro, you can get an implant.
I know. Has anyone told him this? I don't know.
We're telling him right now.
Tell him, Eric, you can get an implant, man. You can even get a penis pump inserted in there, and then you can just pump. Have you seen this? It's fucking great. There's a couple male performers that have this. It's my favorite thing.
They have a Reebok pump in their dick.
Literally. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, it's in their ball, and they literally just, like, squeeze their ball, like, and their dick just goes.
See, I'd only do it if they, like, it looked like
Amazing.
a basketball, like the old Reebok pumps.
That's literally what it looks like. They're literally, like, squeezing, like, just one thumb squeezing.
How do you release the pressure? The other ball?
I think it just goes down after a while. I don't really understand how that works, but it's really nice because I don't want to be responsible for someone maintaining an erection while I'm at work. Like, if you can't, it's a long process, right? Like, it's an unnatural amount of time to have a boner, and I do get that. But, like, I have shit to do in between takes. Like, I don't want to be, like, my mouth does not need to be on your fucking dick the whole time. Like, my jaw gets sore. I want to check my phone, like, get some water.
And nobody wants to be on set with you while you're just stroking yourself while I'm trying to have a conversation about, like, the sports or whatever the fuck we want to talk about. I've been on enough sets where it's just like, hey, what's going on, man? Yeah. Cool.
Well, and nobody wants to, like, delay filming because you can't get your dick hard. Like, that's just I'll for a while. I'm very forgiving. Like, I won't get mad about it. I'll be totally fine for quite a while. But, like, I'll hit a tipping point where I'm like, I want to go home. I have a dog. She needs to go out. So, like, let's get this show on the road, please.
Well, speaking about long days on porn, now that AB5 passed, how do you feel about that? Legally, performers are going to have to be employees.
Yeah, man. It's well intentioned. I get it for, like, because it's intention for, like, Uber and Lyft drivers.
It's shitty for them too.
Yeah, it's It sucks. It sucks. I mean, it's the same thing with strippers. Like they made strippers employees and like,
Well, they did that last year.
yeah, they did that last year and like half of the strippers in LA quit.
Or
Like,
just, they just fucking fly to Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they go to Vegas. Yeah. It's just, it's one of those things. Like, it's an industry that's like populated by people that very purposely did not want to have like a quote unquote job, that wanted to, like, they want to be freelance gig people. Like that's the kind of attitude, this, like the sentiment behind it. So like, I understand like wanting us to have benefits. I do think there's things important that need to change about the way performers are treated, but like that is not the way to do it.
Well, and what's shit-tastic about it is legally, as an employee, you can't write off your press-on nails anymore. You're testing.
Mm-hmm.
But also legally, employers are supposed to pay that now.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting.
And they're not going to pay that. Do you know how much it costs for me to do my hair? It's like $400. They're not going to fucking pay for that shit.
And legally they have to.
And now it's like everyone's going to payroll too. But like, it's not a standard 2-week payroll. Like I get checks at random fucking times. Like I have to like text people. And you never know, like, because I mean, the way profit margins are in porn too, like obviously like for bigger companies, I'm like, I trust, like you're going to pay me. Like if it's like kink or like bras or something, I'm like, you're definitely going to pay me. But it's kind of up in the air of like, are you? When are you? Maybe?
Well, and the fucked up part about it is legally, they have to post when paydays are.
Yeah. But they don't tell us. I mean,
but they legally have to.
Yeah, but they don't. And we have like almost no recourse to be able to do anything about it.
Well, legally you do, but we all know the reality of what happens once you start taking legal recourse against productions.
Absolutely. You're not going to work anymore. So it's like, yeah, like I've had to like email people where it's like, hey, I worked for you a month ago and you owe me like $2,000. Could you maybe, and I'll literally just be like, can you give me a time frame on when I should expect it? Because, you know, I have bills. I need to know.
Well, and here's the other fun part is, I don't know exactly how this works, but in California, when you legally separate from an employer, there's penalties on, they legally have to give you your check on your last day. And if you're self-terminating and give them more than 72 hours notice, they have to have it on your last day. If they fire you or lay you off, they have to hand it to you on your last day.
Yeah.
And there's a full day's pay penalty for every day that they're late up to a month.
Wow. That could really fuck. But yeah, it creates this whole problem. I mean, it's almost like going to push the industry again, like out of California, which
or underground again.
Or under, yeah, and it is going so much further underground. And I've heard that from a lot of veteran performers too, that like compared to when they came in the industry, like not even 10 years ago, that it's so much different. And you know, too, I mean, it's an industry where people kind of come and go. It's like you said, people can be here 1 minute, and the shelf life, I think the average career of like a female porn performer is less than like 3 or 4 months. Yeah,
it's somewhere between 3 and 6, I believe.
Yeah.
I've been around for like 10 years, and yeah, people were big names that I was working with when I started in the industry are long gone.
Yeah. I've had friends where I'm like, one day just their Twitter was just gone and I never heard from them again. Like you can't get too attached to people because they'll disappear.
Yeah. They'll shoot out. They'll get in a relationship with someone who doesn't approve and then be like, poof.
Yep. And they're just gone. And you're like, okay, like you can't make too good of friends because you'll just, they'll just go. But
hopefully with some of them you make connections where it's like, we're friends away from porn. We use our real names.
Right. Yeah. I have a couple of really good friends in the industry that I know from the industry that, are like that, where I'm like, okay, we're absolutely friends outside of this. But yeah, you don't have a lot of, I also don't go to a lot of porn stuff anymore. I just don't like, it's not, I like my job. I like what I get to do. But I don't really fit in with a lot of porn people. We just don't have much in common, and that's totally fine. It's nothing against them. They're not people that I would, they're like coworkers. Like nobody like goes and wants to like hang out with Linda from accounting at night. Like normal people don't like, that's very much how I view her. I'm like, we're coworkers. I enjoy working with you. I don't want to hang out with you on my off time.
Yeah. You have shit taste in music and.
Yeah. Right. Like I don't want to go see Cardi B and like, I don't fucking, like I don't go to clubs. I don't want to fucking go to One Oak. Do not invite me to One Oak. I don't want to go to that shit. Like, please don't.
No, you just got to find your tribe. It's like, there's definitely some performers like I've gone to comedy shows with. There's a handful of us that are into metal. So it's like, go to metal shows. But the majority of people, it's like Oh, we have really nothing in common.
Yeah, and that's the majority. I feel like I'm like we really don't, and we can get along, and that's totally fine. You can get along with people we don't have anything in common with, but yeah, I don't like. But there's a group of us that will go to like I'm sure you know like Mike Quasar, and we'll go to his band's shows, and that's really fun. And there's a group I also hang out with. I'm 25. I still get cast as a teen like the most of the time, because I take
Natural breasts.
I take good care of my skin. Yeah.
The minute you got fakes, it'd be like, I'm a MILF.
Exactly. But I hang out with mostly MILFs just because I get along with them a little bit better. Like I don't have anything I'm 25. I don't have anything in common with an 18-year-old. Nothing. Like I wouldn't no, like not at all. Do people that were born after 9/11 can do porn? I've banged people who think about 9/11 the way that I think about the Berlin Wall. Like that to me is fucking
which
baffling.
makes me feel fucking super old.
Ancient.
Yeah.
Ancient.
I was in a bar on 9/11.
Yeah. I mean, I was in like second grade, but like still, like I remember it.
Well, I talk about this all the time. They're like, that should be my litmus test of should I date you? Where were you on 9/11? Oh, my parents were taking me to school. I should not date you. Doesn't mean I won't have sex with you, but I should not date you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit of an older soul, but like, yeah, it's just one of those things you don't like. And two, like, I mean, and I see this so clearly now, which I did not say when I was, when I was 18, I was in college. So like, it's very obviously a very different kind of ballpark, but like 18-year-olds don't fucking listen. They don't want your advice.
No, not at all.
You can tell them over and over again, like, man, save your money, man, you got to do this, but they don't give a shit. They know everything.
Oh, there's plenty of people that are in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
When I got in back in the day, there was a couple pretty big performers I used to work with, hang out with, like, so what's your long-term plan? And they would look at me like I was speaking another language. Like, you're going to get behind the camera? What's your plan? And just blank stares like, what do you mean? This isn't ever going to end. What?
Right.
I hate to break it to you. You have a shelf life in this biz.
Yeah. And it's short, like it's going to end. And you have to be prepared for it to end. Like, ideally, you want to be able to, in my eyes, there are people, that stay in the industry forever. That this is like that.
But not everyone's fucking Lisa Ann.
Not everyone's exactly. Not everyone's Lisa Ann. Like, kudos to Lisa Ann. I've worked with her and she's fantastic. She's a really, really nice person to work with. I learned a lot from working with her. Not everybody's Angela White. Like, it is inspiring. You need to work with people who just love what they're doing, but not everyone is like that.
But also, people like Lisa Ann and Angela White are workaholics.
Yeah, they work all the time, and they're clearly. I mean, I shot a scene with Angela White where we shot this like 3-girl scene in a warehouse in like Chatsworth. I mean, it was not a comfortable place to bang. We were there for a very, very long time. I think we were there for 10 plus hours, and she shot another scene after that. I did like a cameo in the next scene, and I was fucking exhausted. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I was so tired. I could barely get my lines. And she's just like, let's go. Let's got it. Got this.
I'm amazed she wasn't editing things in between scenes.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's like a workhorse, and it's incredible. But most people aren't like that.
No, most people did not get into this business to work super long hours and put in a ton of work.
No, most people got, at least for me, I got in this industry for the opposite reason of that. Like, I really like that I only have to work 3 days a month to pay all my bills. That's fucking the titties. Like, that's great. I have a ton of time to do other shit. Like, I always, especially like I joke with my comedy friends, like, this is the greatest fucking day job to have if you want to do comedy, because I only have to work 3 days a month. I don't have to go to a fucking office. I can stay out at a mic till 2-3 o'clock in the morning,
and you get endless material from it.
And endless material. Yeah. It gives you a one up. And I will, like, I was talking to a comedy friend about this the other day. Like, I'm very cognizant. Like, I've gotten opportunities, especially in comedy, that I would not get if I wasn't who I was and if I didn't look the way I look. And I'm really aware of that. I try to, and it's very important for me, like, any opportunity I get, even if it's like a privilege, I try to be good enough that I deserve it regardless of the circumstances that I got it under. But yeah, I mean, it's great for that. But it's not forever. You have to want to do something else. And it's a really fun way to spend your 20s. You make a lot of money. You get to travel. You have a lot of time off. You can sleep in. But at the end of the day, everyone's going somewhere. So you have to kind of decide. Yeah,
you have to decide, like, do I want to be behind the camera one day? Do I want to transition to a 9 to 5 at some point? Do you want to be killing it in stand-up by then?
Yeah, exactly. Do I, like, for me personally, like, I want to be a writer. I've wanted to be a writer since I was like 6 years old. I'm working on a book right now. And so, I'm trying to do that. So for me, like, porn is kind of like it's like the ultimate day job, really. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I feel like I'm fairly good at it. And it gives me the time and the opportunities to pursue other stuff that I love. And I think that's a really good way to look at it.
Hell yeah. And
Yeah.
what's the book about, by the way?
It's about porn. It's kind of it's a combination kind of like memoir. It's sort of like an essay collection where basically I just kind of weeded out, like took different topics that I think are important or interesting to people, that people should know about. And I'm trying to break it. I'm trying to have like porn not be sexy.
There's one of the chapters, everyone you masturbate to has herpes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true. But it is. It's just, this is what this job is like. I'm very passionate about like demystifying sex work as it like, because when I really do look at it, I'm like, I just have a job. Like, I really do. I get, I don't want to say get upset, but like, I don't like when people like look at me as like, oh, like, you're definitely like down a clown. Like I'm definitely gonna bang you, like all this shit just because of your job. I'm like, no, it's a job. At the end of the day, like it's a job. I take it seriously.
You expect the mechanic to just fix your fucking car for you?
Exactly. So it's a lot of stuff about that. And it's a lot of stuff about too, because I'm very interested in the way that like technology and like data changes industries, changes like business in general. Because I think that's true of
this business a lot.
And porn tends to be like 5 years ahead of where mainstream media is in terms of like monetizing content, in terms of like the way that we make money too, especially with like Pornhub. We tend to be a little further along, and you see that now, especially with like a lot of streaming stuff.
But we weren't for a while there. Like Pornhub absolutely was just stealing from people and didn't go to the YouTube model till fairly recently.
It did. And I mean, when I look at it too, and like I'm sure you've listened to like The Butterfly Effect by John Ronson, which is a great resource for that. But when you look at it, like Pornhub came in and just decimated the industry because it filled a void that was really easily fillable. I mean, any good business person could have looked at that and been like, holy shit, this is a gold mine.
Well, it's an unethical gold mine.
Yeah.
And the problem is, unlike the RIAA, unlike movies, mainstream movies, no one in Congress was going to fight for porn's rights.
Exactly. But we should, because I mean, porn's rights, especially when we talk about like porn on the internet, is so tied to like net neutrality. It's so tied to free speech.
Well, net neutrality's dead already.
I know. And if Kamala Harris has her way, it'll be dead forever. But yeah, I mean, these are important issues. And I think porn is a really, really interesting case study to look at a lot of other issues that impact other kinds of media as well.
Well, honestly, because Pornhub eventually got into distributing their own content too, is essentially laying down the groundwork for how Netflix is eventually going to completely operate.
Exactly.
We're like, oh yeah, we make all our own content, and then we can choose to put our competitors' content on the front page or not.
Exactly. And I have to say, like, I'm not anti Pornhub, especially because I came into the industry well after it was established. They send me a check every month, and I appreciate it. I probably make more money on Pornhub than I do on any other site, just strictly because of traffic.
Well, at this point, it's just reparations.
Yeah, it's royalties. It's the closest thing that, and I will actually say that is that people in porn prior to that were never going to get royalties.
Fuck no, they weren't.
No, so I consider the money that I get from Pornhub every month to be kind of royalties. I get 5% ad revenue share on everything that I post, and I can post as much shit as I want. I post like I'll post like a 3-minute clip of like behind the scenes. It's nothing, but I make. Every video I make, I make $20 to $50 a month on that video. To me, that's royalties. I'm happy with that.
No, that's awesome and well and good this day and age. But we can't just blindly turn away and be like, hey, you guys did decimate the fucking industry.
They absolutely did, yeah.
And they flat out stole people's content.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say it has gotten a lot better, and they do, like, especially because I tell people this all the time, like, especially new performers, I'm like, you got to get on Pornhub Premium. You got to. Their interface is fucking great. It takes me, I can put up 3 videos on Pornhub in the time it takes me to upload 1 to a different site. It's very, very easy to use. Their customer service is fantastic. Every time I've had to email them about any issue I've had with my account, they're right there. So I do appreciate that. And yeah, my checks come in. I'm never concerned about whether or not they're going to pay me, which is a concern with a lot of other content sites that people use. I'm not concerned they're going to go away anytime soon. So yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons. I figure, this is the state of the industry where we're at now. So, we either work with it or we work against it.
I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying, oh God, boycott Pornhub. No, make your fucking money any way you fucking can. But
I can agree the original, I'm glad that they've shifted into more where it is now. But I agree that the original business model was exploitive.
And for fuck's sake, even a couple of years ago, RedTube, which is a sister site, if you sent a copyright violation to them, they were doxing people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fairly recent still. Go in and make your money. Just don't be blind to...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true of porn in general. And I think that's true of almost any industry, is that, like, because I tell people that all the time, is that porn does have this kind of mystique around it. But the truth is that there are great people and there are shitty people in every single industry. It's true of finance. It's true of media. It's true of entertainment. Any industry you're in, there's going to be great people and there's going to be shitty people. Porn is no different than that. There's people that I count as very good friends in the porn industry. There's people I really admire and look up to in the porn industry. And there's people that I think are human scum. I mean, that's true of anything.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
As I said, been around 10 years. I've seen it all. I've fucking seen it all. I've seen some horrible fucking people. I've seen some horrible fucking hypocrites. I've seen some really great people, get chewed up and spat out. Yep. A lot of people I consider friends have had a hard time of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm also a big proponent of, and like this a little bit of segue, I'm a big proponent of raising the shooting age to 21. I totally agree with that. I get it, like why it's never going to happen, but I'm a really big fan of that idea. I don't think I was a fucking idiot when I was 18. And if you're 18 and you don't think you're a fucking idiot, you're wrong. I'm so sorry.
Now the question is, do you think you weren't an idiot at 21?
I was less of an idiot for sure. Because you need to be able to, you need to be out of school. You need to have a real job for a couple of years to decide that you hate it and you want to do something else. You need to have a little bit of life experience on your back. You have to understand that, the world is not inherently good. People are going to screw you over. You have to have that kind of street smarts.
Getting in at 18 will definitely teach you that.
Right. And I mean, there are 18-year-olds that do have that knowledge and I've definitely met 18-year-olds that were so wise beyond their years, but they're such a small minority. I think raising the shooting age would solve a myriad of problems that we run into.
I don't know if it would. I don't know if people that would get in at 21 are going to be any more street smart than they were at 18. I don't know. They might. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would. Because honestly, I don't think I was that different between 18 and 21.
Really? I feel like I learned a lot between 18 and 21. I've definitely learned more. I would say like 22 to like 24, I learned a lot. And then like 25 hit and I was like, okay, like I literally, it was just my half birthday yesterday. So like 25 hit and I'm like, okay, I actually am starting to, and I'm still trying to figure stuff out. I'm still in my 20s. I'm still fucking moron sometimes, but I definitely have a much better handle on like who I am and what I want and the ways to navigate the world.
I definitely thought I had the world by the balls at 18. I thought I had the world by the balls at 21. Like, it's crazy in my mid to late 20s how much more life experience I got and how much more things changed. And a lot of it had to do with me getting involved in the porn industry.
Yeah.
A lot of things, a lot of misconceptions I had were there until I actively started working in the industry. Mm-hmm. And if you're a 21-year-old who's not exposed to the industry, there's a lot of things you're not going to learn until you get in anyways.
Absolutely.
Honestly, we need more support groups. We need more mentorship.
That's a huge thing for me too, is that, and that's a big thing in general. It's actually a project I'm working on a little bit right now, is that nobody teaches you how to do this job. This is a job where, and that's one of the good things about it. It is a job where you don't have to have a lot of training or a lot of educational background to make a lot of money, which is great because that lowers the barrier to,
until some scumbag dude comes and tries to take advantage of you.
Exactly. So I think, because there are so many aspects of this industry, like this job that you would never know how to handle, like down to, how to pack your shoot bag, like how to keep the pH of your vagina like correct, like all of these things that like no one is going to tell you. You do it really as trial by fire.
Yeah. Or how to handle your taxes.
Yeah. Oh my God. How to handle your tax, how to save your money, how to invest, how much you should be spending. Cause you start getting these big checks and you're like, holy shit. Like I remember the first time I think I made like $10,000 and I was like, holy shit, I have $10,000. This is fucking fantastic. And I was an idiot and I was like 23. So like, if I can be that stupid at 23, imagine what I would have done with that at 18.
Well, and I as I said, I just think we just need more mentorship more than
absolutely
raising it up to 21. There's always going to be a market for 18-year-olds. I know this sounds predatory as fucking me being like, I'm a proponent of 18-year-olds fucking. No, I don't I think it's more with getting people educated, but there's no incentive to educate people because they turn over performers so quickly.
Exactly. And I think that what I really think it needs to be is like a codified system. Like it needs to be like what I feel should happen is when you like sign with an agency in LA, they should be able to hand you like a handbook, like, or a link, whatever, where it's like, this is all of the shit you need to know. And if you're not willing to like read that and do the bare minimum of homework, then you probably shouldn't be here anyways. But if you're willing to like, because it's not hard, these things aren't hard, it's just that they're not accessible. And so I think making them accessible, that is a big passion project for me, because like that makes everybody's lives easier. It's easier for agents, it's easier for directors, it's easier for performers.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, someone who's educated is probably going to show up on time, be ready to work.
Mm-hmm. They're going to know what they need to bring. They're going to know what to expect. They're going to know, and not only that, but they're going to know how to advocate for themselves on set, which is a huge thing. I've just had in the last like couple of weeks, I've had a couple of scenes where I had to send a scene partner home because they didn't have a valid test, or they showed up with, some sort of like skin condition. And I needed to be able to speak up and say, I'm not willing to work with you. This is dangerous.
I don't want ringworm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want a fucking yeast infection. You need to go to the doctor. But to be able to say that, I mean, it's a high pressure environment. Your check is on the line. You haven't been paid yet. So the ability to speak up for yourself in a way that is constructive, in a way that works with other people, is a huge, huge asset in this industry that most people don't have. But first of all, every performer has the right and the responsibility really too, to demand a safe work environment. And there's a way to demand that is healthy and constructive and is not going to get you canceled from scenes.
I agree. And also, so many performers aren't aware that if you're signed with a licensed agency, they have to provide you workers' comp.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many people don't know that.
Yeah.
I've told that to a lot of performers and they look at me like, what? My agent has to what? Like, yeah, if your set's underinsured, your agent has to provide you with workers' comp insurance. So if you get injured on a set or something fucking happens where you can't work, you should be filing a claim with your agent's workers' comp insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. One, not only that, but like how to talk to your agent. Like your agent, so because I think there's this weird cognitive dissonance with a lot of performers where some people are like, well, my agent works for me and fuck you. And some people are like, well, I'll do whatever my agent says. And it's really a middle ground between those. I really like my agent. Shout out Mark, ATMLA. I love you. Everyone, Mark, Sandra, Gina, Danny, you guys are all great. And one of the things I really love about my agency is that they very much have that kind of as a standard of the way they work with performers. It's not really a you or me thing. It's we are collaborating and we're working together. So if I have a problem, I just take it to my agent. I'm like, look, I think we need to address this. Let's talk about it. How can we fix this for both you and me? How can this work for both of us? That's the way to handle that situation. Not getting mad, not, throwing a fit.
Well, throwing a fit never solves anything.
And it makes you look crazy. And not taking it to social media. That's not how you handle these things. You know?
Putting someone on blast is going to do nothing but get you fucking blackballed.
Exactly. So like in those instances where, I was like a performer that, didn't have a test or had like a symptom or something, I brought it to my agent and I was like, look, this is what happened. This is how I handle it. In some cases I needed to be like, I need you to contact this person's agent because they should not be shooting. Like I need you to back me up on this. And they've always backed me up on that. And I really appreciate that.
I've definitely heard horror stories about, people showing up with obvious symptoms and people just calling their agent like, yo, this is the problem. You're my agent. Fucking deal with this.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
it should be.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that is why I pay them quite a bit of money, is to handle those things for me. And then they're, happy to do that.
And if they're not, find a new agent.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think too, like, especially important, I think I've never like felt this more strongly, but like you teach people how to treat you. So if you come into something, being irrational, being really upset, all this stuff, and I get it too, because I get really upset sometimes. But if you really, try to handle things in a responsible way, in a healthy way, in a communicative way, people will treat you that way. I've never, and I just posted something on Twitter a couple of days ago where I was like, if you show up to set with symptoms of anything less than 100% healthy, you're unsafe, you're irresponsible, and you don't belong in this industry. And I had a shocking number of performers come out defending going to set sick or with an illness because they said, I can't lose bookings. It's going to impact da 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 da. have never had that happen. I have canceled scenes because I was sick, and I've given as long as you have plenty of notice, because no one develops pneumonia symptoms 20 minutes before call time. That's the reality. And we knew this when I was a PA too, when I was working behind the scenes, that this was not like, we know who's faking, we know who's being serious. Give notice, get a doctor's note if you need to. Communicate with everybody. I've had to cancel scenes for a number of companies because I was sick, and I've never not been rebooked.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's handling it properly. Because I've definitely heard horror stories of people canceling last minute, being like, I'm sick. And the person on the phone just didn't be like, they're probably having a herpes outbreak. And just.
Yeah. But even if you are.
Yeah.
That
Communicate.
happens. Communicate.
Yeah. No one in this industry expects you not to have a herpes outbreak occasionally.
No. I mean, I hope you're taking your Valtrex. You know,
Right.
Go get on your like cyclovan, like go
Treat
to
it.
Dr. Riggs. Yeah, treat it. Like stay on it. But it happens to the best of us, and we would all much rather you not show up to set with that, because they're gonna send you home anyways, and getting sent home from set is so much worse.
Because then they're calling people last minute to try to book them.
Exactly. Like I've never canceled a scene because I was sick less than like 24 hours notice, because 24 hours before, you probably know, barring like very, very specific circumstances, if you're sick, you're sick more than 20 minutes before your scene. You do. Just be responsible, tell them. And if you do that, they will. I've had directors thank me, like, for being like, thank you for being responsible. I'm sorry that you had to cancel the scene. I'm going to book you in 2 weeks. They appreciate that. This is not rocket science.
No, as long as you don't make them have to have a last minute scramble to replace you.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as, and even 24 hours is plenty of notice. Like I said, I get last minute bookings all the time. That 24 hours is plenty of notice.
And I'm sure plenty of people are book you often because like, oh, we can call Kate last minute and she'll show up.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've gotten some of my best scenes last minute because I was available and because I'm responsible. And we're drinking now, but I try not to drink too much. You
haven't drank that much.
Well, I try to be able to show up for work the next day and be responsible. So, but yeah, people know that. And again, it is your reputation in the industry. And people will say, well, you get a reputation as being a flake if you cancel.
Yeah, if you do it 15 minutes before you're supposed to show.
15 minutes,
or after you were supposed to be there.
Or after. I had a girl call me one time when I was working behind the scenes, and I was actually doing a scene that day. I was doing a live show. This girl calls me. We were flying her up to Portland. Her flight was at, I think, 6 a.m. She calls me at 5:30 in the morning and is like, I'm sick. I can't go to LAX. Like, I'm sick. And I literally was just like, first of all, I'm not the talent booker. Why the fuck are you calling me? Second of all, like, I'm about to do a really hardcore scene in a few hours. Like, why are you calling me? Absolutely not. And also, I'm like, I'm looking at your Twitter feed. Like, you were out at a concert. You were at a fucking rave last night. You're not sick. You're rolling. It's not the same thing. Like, you don't do that shit. I get it's fun. But, like, if I want to go to, like, something big like that, like, if I have, a really big show or something, I take the day off. I tell my agent, I'm like, hey, don't book me tomorrow. I'm going to go get wasted with my friends until 3 a.m. Because, I'm a person and I like to do that sometimes.
Exactly.
I'm not available tomorrow because I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go sleep in and fucking order a breakfast burrito. Like, that's what I'm going to do.
Assuming Instacart lets you.
Yeah. Well, Postmates still lets me,
Fuck Postmates. Fuck them.
Really?
I hate Postmates.
Oh, man. I use Postmates all the time.
They're the fucking devil.
Really? They do kind of suck. Like, sometimes my coffee gets here and it's cold, but whatever.
Well, here's why I fucking hate Postmates. So, order a pizza from them. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I'm paying for the unlimited free delivery a month. Pizza fucking shows an hour and a half late and cold. Mm-hmm. I complain. Initially, they're like, that sucks. Like, no compensation, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you're going to do for me? They're like, well, here's a $3 credit.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm like, okay, that's something. I'm still angry, but that's something.
Yeah.
I go to use the $3 credit next time I order. It was a $3 delivery credit for someone who has unlimited free delivery.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that noise.
I canceled on the spot, deleted the app. Fuck them. Fuck Postmates.
Fuck Postmates. Also, it's 8:30, so we probably got to wrap.
Yeah, we got to wrap. Like, we both have hard outs.
This was really fun, though.
Yeah, we got to do this again.
It was a great, yeah, absolutely. I'm super down. Again, I live 5 minutes away from you.
Well, then we'll do it again soon.
Yeah.
In the short term, Kate, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Kate Kennedy XXX. All of my premium links are pinned in my pinned tweet for my, OnlyFans and ManyVids and Pornhub Premium, all that shit. I'm not on Instagram because I was banned Best day of my life. Honestly, such a fucking weight off my shoulders. I don't really
So many less dick pics.
dude, honestly, I don't like Instagram. I don't often I'm never doing something that looks that cool, and I usually don't look that good. So I was like very relieved to not have to photograph my life to that extent. So yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm super funny on there. I'm about to have I'm really close to 45,000 followers, which means it's probably, I say that I'm gonna jinx myself. It's gonna take me like 3 months to get there.
Or you're going to get banned.
No, I'm not getting banned. I'm not getting banned. I'm very like, most of my Twitter content is a lot of comedy. I mean, I retweet my stuff, but yeah, my jokes.
You got any times you're going to be on stage in LA in the next couple weeks? This should be a couple weeks out.
I don't have any upcoming shows except for this one coming up this week, which it won't be out in time. So
Sorry.
it's okay. Hopefully, I will. I mean, I always post my shows on my Twitter, so I always publicize them, and yeah.
Go see Kate do comedy. Buy her a
do.
Jameson or two.
Yeah, please do. I appreciate that. I'm about to go do comedy right now. This has been a great warm up.
Well, happy to help. Well, until next week, you know where you can find me. You can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. and Slayer on Facebook. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter, and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. And until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.